Hello my beautiful minds, welcome to the LyfeBites show where you are being motivated and inspired for your better self. So today, I have my husband here with me and he's going to be telling us his journey through uni. So, baby. He's the star boy. Star boy. So you know what, guys? He had a fantastic, excellent result, distinction in his master's degree, MSc.
What did I, sorry, can you come again? What did you say? Say it.
MSc Global Finance. Distinction.
Okay,
Okay, so I literally had to personally invite you on a LyfeBites.
I mean, why would you not invite me on LyfeBites?
Oh please! Now he's being proud.
It's not easy.
Of course, I know it's not easy. I'm so glad for you. Congratulations,
Thank you.
my darling.
Thank you.
So I've got some questions lined up for you. My first question is, why did you decide to do a master's degree after several years of leaving uni?
I feel it gets to a point in a man's life where you feel you just want to acquire more success for yourself, and you feel there are some goals you have laid down for yourself and you want to work towards achieving those goals as well. Even though I'm not getting what I want at the moment, doesn't mean I'm not going to work towards getting that thing. So several years after BSc, coming back to do a master's, it was something I've always wanted. I was going to have a master's. Okay. Yeah, so that was the major motive. It's the fact that it's part of my goals, it's part of what I've always wanted for myself. I didn't just want to stop my education just for BSc at the BSc level. I wanted more. I wanted to have MSc. It's possible for me to have PhD, but I'm still thinking about that though. But it's just me being yearning more for success, yearning more for me achieving things for myself. That was the reason why after several, I'm like, you know what, I think it's high time I come do my master's.
You were into movie productions.
Yes, I was.
Back in Nigeria.
And I'm still.
And just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
didn't you have fears about coming to the UK, like, you know, to study such a course, Global Finance?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that is a difficult one. Did you have fears?
Trust me, I had.
Coming to do that in the UK?
Trust me. You want to know the truth? I had fears. I had great fears because the educational background I had before coming to the UK is totally different from the curriculum they have here. And the way the system is, the educational system in Nigeria, back home, it's filled with a lot of hard work. It's filled with a lot of you trying so hard to study in a very in an environment where it's not conducive, where everything is not working. Kudos to the Nigerian government. I'm not saying they are not doing their best, but it's difficult there. So I had the fears, no doubt. Okay. It was scary, the fact that I don't know where I was going to come, meet here, the kind of people, the kind of lecturers. I didn't know how it was going to be for me, you know. And the fact that, yes, I was in the movie production. Literally everything, because I did banking and finance in my BSc. Okay. But I didn't practice. Yeah, I was fully into the movie production.
So that's your passion?
That's my passion, yes. So navigating from movie production and coming to do global finance, I had fears. I was like, how was I going to be able to read? This one is not reading scripts or trying to act action and all that stuff. Now this is the real the calculations, you know, the analysis. Along the journey, along the conversation, I'll tell you the instruments I used. But I had a lot of fears because I was like, I've not opened book for years. And I was always going for movie. I was just doing script things. But then I just told myself, there's nothing I cannot do. So even if I had the fears, I believed that I was going to be able to overcome the fears.
There's one thing I want to pick from what he just said. There's nothing I cannot do.
Absolutely.
That is an I can do mentality.
Yeah.
It's something we must have for us to strive in life. It's very, very important.
And just to add to what you just said, trust me, coming from movie production to a course where you need a lot of, you need to be brilliant, you need to be sharp, you need to have your brain intact. Trust me, it's not easy.
Yeah.
But you can do it. I just made up my mind that even though these fears are there, you know, even when I was choosing the course, I was busy. I was like, maybe I should do business administration, insurance, you know. But I was like global finance because I knew what I was getting when I saw the courses, the modules, portfolio management, corporate finance, valuation, bonds, equities. I was like, you know what, Bobby, you can do this thing. Yeah,
you can do it.
Yeah, you can do it. You make happen what you want to happen in life.
Oh my days.
Yeah.
My husband is preaching now.
Absolutely.
You make happen what you want to happen in life.
Exactly.
And you did it. So my next question is, I do understand that the educational system in Nigeria is totally different.
Yeah.
It's totally different from what we have here. So how did you manage to cope with the switch?
I think it was just my mindset. Yeah, because before anything comes to the physical, it comes from the mind. So I knew that it was going to be a huge challenge because, just like I said earlier, what we are used to back home is totally different from the system here.
Yeah.
So, for example, back home in Unilag, Greater Kokai, shout out to Unilag. That's the school I went to as my BSc, University of Lagos, Nigeria. So back home, we don't use Excel to do our calculations. That was one major thing that I really struggled with. Most of the things that they were using to lecture us over here, everything was online. You know, even library was online. What we had back home in Nigeria was physical library. You know, so you can read books online. Educational system is totally different, but I was just like, well, whatever it is, my mind, I'll be able to cope with it. Whatever I need to do to be able to get my excellent result, I was going to do. So everything just boils down to my mindset, actually. It's like whatever lecturer says, whatever I need to do, I'll do it. I mean, people that are doing don't have to yet. They're not better than me. So it's my mind. That's it.
So your mind is powerful.
Very powerful. Everything happens from your mind, yeah. The mind is the most powerful weapon any human being can possess.
Yeah. Good one. So how did you manage studying while working and also being a married man, and you were able to finish with a distinction?
You see, this part is very interesting. It's called discipline and principles. Yes.
Do you want to enlighten us?
So basically, I had to separate my time of work from my time with my wife and my time of study. And there were some days that my wife was...
I am right here. Please. I am here. Before you talk about
I'm still going to spell it like the way I can spell it. So basically, there were days that I would want to study, and some days where I will have to try and balance my home. Like my wife will need my attention, but what I prioritize my time. So there were days that when I want to study, even if my wife is cooking all the meals and yearning for me, baby, come to the bed and all that, it's just going to just passing here, going out there.
Oh my days.
And then the days when I'm fully with my wife, anything that has to do with school, I don't talk about it. I don't even think about it. And as for work, I was going to work, and then sometimes I'll come back at night. I'll have to revise and study. I'll be up like 1 a.m., 2 a.m. trying to catch up. You know, it's just prioritizing your time and giving it your best, you know, knowing the fact that, okay, when it's time for your wife, it's time for your wife. When it's time for you to study and do your coursework, it's time for you to study. When it's time for you to do your work, it's to do your work. The major thing here is prioritizing your time, knowing when to do the right thing at the right time.
Setting your priorities
Exactly.
Right.
Don't jam-pack everything together because it's not going to work. Yeah, and it was a lot of work. Grace of God as well, but discipline, just like I said. Discipline is when you know that, okay, you have to work, concentrate on the work, don't think about school. When you're studying, don't be distracted by anything. Focus on it and then try to achieve it And when you're studying or you're reading and all that, put your mind, because you know you don't have, in 24 hours, you only have like 3 hours to study. So that 3 hours, put your mind. Some people will be studying, but they are distracted. I was fully into the studying when I'm studying. Yeah, everything is off. My phone is off. Everything is off. Then when it's time for my wife as well, books closed, laptop closed, everything closed. Time for wife. When it's time for work. That's it. So I was able to manage everything together with my discipline and my principles. Yeah.
Wow, that's a good one. Set your priorities right. It's very, very paramount. Okay, my next question is, so how were you able to relate with other people from your from different ethnicity, culture, like your classmates? And also, I understand that you were the class rep. Like, how did you manage this?
So the first thing I did was, when I started school, I made sure that I made it easy for people to access me. I was accessible. I didn't look at my age, because I had a lot of young dudes and young girls, 21, 22 and all that. I don't want to spill my age here, but I'm still a young one anyways. But then...
He's old.
I'm young, come on. But then again, what I did first was, I made sure that I walked up to every one person in that class. I'm sure they are going to watch this. At every point where a new student came in, I introduced myself. And and I created a WhatsApp group for everybody. I had classmates from Pakistan, Ukraine, Kenya, Ghana, Cameroon, Hong Kong, China, Japan. I can go on and on. But what I did was, I made them felt comfortable talking to me. You know, I carry them along. I'm someone that I'm very...
You're accommodating.
Yeah, I'm accommodating. My hospitality is top notch. Yeah, it's top notch. So that was what I used, and then that kind of made them like me, and then made me say, okay, you know what? Well, they're going to be happy for me to represent the class.
So they voted for you to be the class rep?
Yes. Yeah. Well, the thing is, not really voted and all that. Basically, because of the way I was already running the class, even before the class captain or the class representative thing came up, they knew that, okay, when the lecturer was talking about, I remember the lecturer was talking about, so you need someone to represent you in the class and all that. And they were like, well, we already have someone already. I'm like, okay, man. And then,
they already chose you even before you became one. Oh, wow,
so,
that's good.
And I didn't look at color. I didn't look at whatever race you're from. I just felt we are all one. You know, I had an open mind, and I wanted to learn about where they were from, what they do, their culture and all that. So that made it very easy for me to literally get to know them, and I was always smiling, even though I had rough days. I always smile. You know, that smile thing worked a lot.
What exactly did you do and didn't do to achieve your final excellent result? So what exactly did you do? Maybe you want to answer that first, then before you get to the second one. Okay, what you didn't do.
So what I actually did was, I mean, the money of the fees, when you think about it, you definitely know that you have to come out with a good grade. It's a lot of money. So that alone was a motivation.
Okay.
And what I did was, my mind, I told myself, nothing less than a merit. That was the goal. Nothing less than a merit. At the end of the day, if I happen to have a distinction, fantastic. So I had like a benchmark, I had like a standard. So I was working towards that. So that was one thing I did. What I didn't do was not saying fear and believing that I can't finish with a merit or a distinction.
Not looking down on yourself.
Nah, I didn't do that. That's like, and then I didn't try to say, okay, let me just pick a module or a course that I know I can easily just read and pass. I give myself a challenge that, you know what, global finance, that's like hot. Like it's not going to be easy, but I told myself, you know what, I'm going to go for it. So I did not feel like I couldn't do it. I did not feel like, oh, I was going to fail. I removed failure from my...
out of the picture.
Yeah, I didn't think about that at all. I just told myself, I can do this thing and all that. Another thing I did right was the fact that I read a lot. I was always going to the library. I was always reading a lot of books and all that, you know. I was attending lectures as well, as much as I don't miss lectures. So, and then when I miss, or probably some that for one or two things couldn't make me attend, I catch up. So I don't push it, and I didn't pile up my work. I didn't. So
you were tackling them as
yeah.
counts.
So these were the things I did, and I didn't pile up. The things I didn't do was piling up my work, procrastinating my assignments and my coursework, because we always had deadline, and we had to work in group as well. You know, I was always meeting up with my other course group members. I just used my time judiciously.
Oh,
yeah,
that's good. So another question is, what advice do you have to give to those who feel age is no longer on their side and is kind of like a barrier for them to go back to school to acquire a
that's
degree?
an interesting question. I'm just going to talk about what worked for me.
Okay.
Yeah. So, age can be a factor in everything we do in life, no doubt about that.
Yeah.
But we've seen people that at their 50 they still became a graduate. We've seen people at the age of 60 they still became a graduate.
Very true.
Yeah, so what I can just say is it depends on how much you want it. It depends on how much you believe that you still want this thing at the end of the day. Even if age is not on your side. I mean, coming back to do masters at this age with those young people in my class wasn't that easy, especially when I now met my classmates.
Yeah.
So you just have to tell yourself, you know what, even if I'm 40, even if I'm 45, even if I'm 50, I'm still going to achieve this thing. I want this thing. So it depends on the person. It depends on how much you want it. One thing that I can tell people out there is don't look at your age. Don't look at the things you've lost in the past. Don't look at the time. Just go for it. Just go for it. Just tell yourself, I want this thing. I'm going to do it. Because in life, when you make excuses, right, you end up not doing a lot for yourself.
Someone once said, turn your excuses to uses.
Exactly. That's a nice one.
Start using them.
Yeah, so I know people will say, well, how can I come and read at the age of 35, 40, 45? Yeah, no doubt. The brain is not as sharp as when you were 23, 24. We get it. Yeah, but then again, if you want it, trust me, you can do it. It just depends on how much you want it. Depends on what you want to achieve. Depends on what you want for yourself. Yeah, so age should not realistically be a barrier.
So basically, people out there, if you think age is a barrier for you, I think first thing first, you want to think about how much you want this thing. Why do you need it? Like, how much can you do anything to have it? That from that you can get the motivation to go for it.
Exactly.
So do not limit yourself. You will be able to do it. Do not look down on yourself. You can. The people that are doing it, they don't have two heads. So you can.
Yeah.
You are even better than some people who have done it. So don't look down on yourself. Be confident and go out there and do it. You will definitely be able to do it.
Yeah.
My last question is, so what advice do you have to give to those young ones out there who are just about to get into uni? Now our young folks.
Education and studying gives you a platform where you can stand anywhere and talk and people will listen to you. It doesn't really guarantee that, yes, it's going to give you a financial breakthrough or liberation. No. We all know that people will say, well, people that are rich in this world, the Bill Gates, they didn't go to school. No doubt about that. But going to school gives you a lot of exposure. It gives you a lot of knowledge. It gives you a lot of
gives you a voice.
Gives you a voice out there. It makes you stand out from people. So it's good, yeah. What advice I can give people is just put your mind at it. Go, do it. Try as much as possible to have a certificate. It's just good. It's just worth it,
Yeah, because young people, they can easily be distracted.
Yeah.
That's why I think the discipline that you talked about earlier on comes.
Exactly. So go for it. Even if you're struggling at one point in the semester and all, you can always bounce back. It's good to be educated. It's good to go to school. It just gives you an upper edge over other things. When people are talking, you can say things. You have, go for it. Believe you can do it, and then That's it.
And another thing I'm going to say is the people you hang around with, the people you mingle with, also matter a lot.
Yeah.
Because if you're in school or you're in uni, you're having to mingle with those students who are not serious. You become one of them. So I think it will be useful if you handpick your friends.
Yeah, like
those that motivate you.
Yeah, that's a good one, because when I was in uni, doing my masters, I had like one or two people that we literally studied together. So it was like a mini competition of I'm gonna get something like that. And then three of us all finished the distinction.
You'll be challenged to want to do more, especially when you see those people you're surrounded with, like they are going for it. If you were being laid back or you were being like desucal about some certain things, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I don't want to be like this. Like my friends are this way, and when they call you for group coursework, they've done their coursework already, and you're still the one being laid back. That alone can motivate you to become a better you. As I always say, LyfeBites is for your better self. Not for me, but for you.
Exactly. So, young ones out there, and do your BS. After your BS, go for your MSc, And to be honest with you, what you get to learn when you're in school, it's a lot. It will help you in every ramification of your life.
Yeah.
There are some certain things you won't learn on the street except you go to. You won't learn them on the street. You won't learn them anywhere except you go to school. Except you go proper bachelor's or MSc.
So at the same time, we're not trying to say that you have to do MSc. If you're the type that you just want to do BSc and maybe do a certification, that is very good. That's also good. You want to be focused on a particular profession, so you can go for a certification just to equip your BSc more. You don't have to do MSc. But if you want to go further, yes, go further. Do MSc, do PhD, whatever you want to do. The point is, whatever you set your mind to do, you can do it.
Absolutely, yeah. And then,
regardless of the age, regardless of whatever barrier you think you might be facing, you can do it. Yeah. That's what my husband is trying to say.
Yeah, so my advice, just do it. Prepare yourself for the journey. Stay focused while you're doing it, because you can easily meet some people during the school time and then they can easily distract you. Don't get distracted. Put your eyes on the goal and then walk towards. At the end of the day, you'll be celebrated. That's the reason why I'm being here to talk about.
And I am so proud of him.
Thank you.
Alright guys, thank you very, very much for watching, and I hope you've been motivated, inspired, and you will go out there and achieve that great result you've been dreaming about. Please subscribe, like, comment your thoughts, and share to family and friends so others can be inspired as well. Thank you very much, and keep staying fabulous. Until next time, bye.
Subscribe. Don't you like what we are doing here? Share. Subscribe. It won't cost you anything. Just click, subscribe. That's all. Bye-bye.